Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. For this review, we're going to take a look at the S.H.Figuarts Vegeta with the Scouter, and I will be doing a quick comparison against the original version, so stay tuned for that. So first off, let's have a look at the packaging. Pretty much a standard S.H.Figuarts format with the window in the front, wraps around to the side, and also to the top. And you've got a shot of Vegeta here in the front, very nice. Around to the side, optional hands, optional face, and on the back you've got a few more action shots and some text explaining what S.H.Figuarts are all about. And on this side you've got the window, and on the bottom you've got Vegeta's face. Very simple artwork there. And let's get this guy open and have a look on the inside. And here you've got a set of instructions to show you how the accessories fit on. And here is the actual figure inside the plastic tray. And here are the accessories that Vegeta comes with. I'll just go through them quickly, then I'll show you close-ups of each of these later on. So he comes with an optional head, and this head is different to the one that comes on the figure, as the one that comes on the figure has a little slot on the side to fit the Scouter on, and this one doesn't. And he comes with 2 additional expressions, so 4 in total. You've got the shouting face, smirking face, kind of evil looking face, and the one that's on the figure is more of a standard expression face, and they're all interchangeable. He also comes with his tail that's not wrapped around his body. He comes with a extra Scouter, and this one doesn't have anything on the display, whereas the one that's attached on the figure, you can see it has some sort of display detail on the display. And he comes with his arms, of course, as the figure is packed with the crossed-armed piece. And in terms of hands, he comes with a crushing the Scouter hand, which is on the left hand. He comes with a pair of the blasting hands, and he comes with a pair of the clenching hands. And with the head for the Scouter just fits over the ears, and there's a little tiny recess there behind his ears where the Scouter plugs into. So you can have him with the Scouter with the detail in the visor or no detail in the visor, so you can swap that over. And you can also swap the head around or the face around, so all of the faces will work with either head, as the recess is designed into the back of the head, so he can be shouting and wearing the Scouter at the same time. And to swap the head, basically just pop it off the ball joint and pop the other one back on. And here he is with the non-Scouter head. You can see there's no holes behind the ears. And with his arms, you basically just pop it off the peg, and then you can pop his regular arms on. And obviously that acts as the bicep swivel as well for articulation. And they pop on relatively easily. And the hands, pretty easy to swap around. Pop off the ball joint and on with the optional hand. And with his tail, you basically pop it out of the hole in the back and then kind of just unwrap it. The tail is kind of soft, so it will kind of stretch all the way out, and then you can pop his tail on. And now for a closer look at the figure. Overall, I think he looks quite good, the proportions, but he does look quite simple in comparison to the previous version of the Scouter Vegeta, which I will do a comparison shortly. But let's just have a look at the face first. So the head is quite nicely sculpted. The Scouter fits on pretty well. Probably not as as well as the previous version, but it does fit on there. And obviously there's no panel lining or any kind of shading on the armor, but it looks simple and looks kind of clean, so that's not too bad. Good detailing on the armor, those lines there, but the paint job isn't as tidy as I would have liked to see. The rest of the body is pretty straightforward. Blue suit with white gauntlets and white boots. And with the extra head, you can actually put him on the Super Saiyan Vegeta body, the new version of course, and it'll sit there nicely as the pegs are exactly the same size. And now onto a side-by-side comparison with the previous version, the old version, and the new version here. So straight off the bat, you can see the proportions are different. The new version has a slightly larger head, and obviously the paint job is not nearly as nice as the old version. So in the old version, you can see all the panel lining and shading on the armor, and also the suit is a much lighter blue with black lowlights, so a lot more detail in the old version. Even the gauntlets has some highlighting there, whereas the new version is pretty much no detailing at all in terms of the paint app. So I do still like my old version, even though the new one might have improved upon in the articulation department. But I'll just do a spin around so you can see them both side by side. And there are some design differences here as well. You can see the back of the armor. The new one has this little detail added there, whereas the old one doesn't. So the old one does have that nice sleek look as well. And unfortunately the heads are not compatible, as the new version of the newer S.H.Figuarts Dragon Ball figures has bigger head ball joints than the old version. So there you go, old and new side by side. And now for a look at articulation. And with the head, he can look up that far and look down to there. And you see what I mean about the scouter? It doesn't fit in nearly as nice. So I'll just leave this off for now. And he can do side to side tilting and also spin around all the way. The armor pieces are hinged at the top of the shoulders, so they can come up that far, which allows him to raise his arms up to there. So actually it doesn't make a difference. But he can now spin his arm all the way around like this. And there is a little bit of a butterfly joint here, so he can rotate his shoulders forward and back like this. And bicep swivel all the way around, double jointed elbows, very good bend there. And he's got pin and hinge, or ball and hinge for the wrist, so all the way around, and a bit of in and out. So that's pretty good. And with his diaphragm, he can rotate to the side a little bit, tilting side to side. And in terms of crunch, okay, he can crunch forward that far and back that far. And I've just noticed it's kind of extended itself, so I think there is a bit of an extension. Yep, there is. So you can extend the diaphragm up to give him a bit more room to move, but you got to make sure you push it back down, otherwise you'll see this massive gap. And with his skirt armor, he can raise them up that far and the front one that far, so that allows him to do that much of a split. He can kick forward that far, kick back that far. So it's a little bit hindered by the skirt with the forward kicking motion. And he's got bicep swivels and double jointed knee, very good bend there. And also no rotation at the top of the boots, but he does have rotation at the ankles, and it can point down that far, up that far. And he's got ankle pivots from side to side, and the ankle joint is actually a long kind of ball joint that goes into the feet or into the leg, so it gives him a bit of movement there. And lastly, he comes with toe joints, so he can point his toe up that far. And in terms of height, he measures about 16 centimeters to the top of his hair, so that's about 6.29 inches. And now for some size comparisons, and first up, here he is with the original Scouter Vegeta. Here he is with the new version of the S.H.Figuarts Super Saiyan Vegeta, S.H.Figuarts Son Goku, DC Icons Superman, and lastly Marvel Legends Cyclops. The Scouter Vegeta was a much needed re-release, as a lot of people missed out on the original version. Having said that, this guy is a mass release as opposed to the Tamashii Web exclusive for the original release. So the coloration isn't nearly as nice as the original version. But the articulation has been improved with the new version, even though it doesn't look quite as good. So he's got the nice new hip joints there. He's got an additional diaphragm joint here that we didn't see in the original version. And also the hips are now much tighter than the original version, which tended to kind of flop around. So there are pros and cons. And the biggest pro is now that everybody can enjoy having a Scouter Vegeta in their collection. So if you're one of those guys that missed out on the original version, this guy is a very good stand-in. I mean, the color is a little bit different, but as far as the panel lining goes, you can pretty much, just get a Gundam marker and mark those in. It's pretty easy, and it'll make the figure look a lot nicer. So anyway, that's it for my review of the Scouter Vegeta. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time for another toy review.